that we can get to share with other people, so that we can get as many people to this tomorrow as possible, or at least inform as many people as we can of what is happening here within the Republican Party.
What I can do is, I think everybody's on the email list. When I get home, I will email it out to everybody. I'll send you the complaint. Well, if you want to give me your email or whatever, I will email you the complaint, the original complaint, and from them, and then my response to the complaint. So in fact, we can read the response. I know some of you have not been able to, like I said, I know some of you couldn't get it because I didn't have any electricity, but I can read it very quickly so you guys will hear it.
Lord, turn down the sun.
Huh?
Dim the shade.
Does anybody have national contact with national?
We're working on that. That is being worked on. Okay, so here's the response. Let me find it. Let's see.
Lori, in the complaint, original formal complaint, did they cite any particular rule, a specific rule?
They didn't cite one to me either.
No, it's not a complaint about a rule, it's how it gets done.
It's whatever Melanie wants.
Let's see.
Sorry folks, I'm having to adjust my
Okay, so
camcorder.
here's the response. I'll read it for those of you who didn't read it, couldn't get it today. Okay, I'm responding to the complaint received by the Credentials Committee regarding the Pulaski County Convention held on June 30th, 2022 and July 7th, 2022. First, we follow the recommendations by State Senator and former Pulaski County Party Chair Mark Johnson, 2nd District Chair Melanie Gulick, Republican Party Legal Counsel A.J. Kelly, and present throughout the meeting was State Party Chair John L. Fulmer. All complaints were taken seriously and accommodated. All issues were resolved and no complaints existed prior to the final ballot. District Chair Melanie Gulick was responsible for the ballot counting. This was painstakingly accomplished and the meeting was recorded. The recording validates the response to the complaint. The complainants assert that we had no plan or process for proceeding with the election of delegates. While this bellyaching is not a real complaint, we nonetheless followed the agenda issued by the state party and all recommendations from the parliamentarian, the district chairman, the RPA council, they were followed, and all complaints from the body were accommodated. The complainants assert that we tried to do a slate election. This is false. One committee member complained that another was making multiple nominations at once, notwithstanding that this was proper and not a slate election. The delay intending buffoonery was fully accommodated and nominations were made individually. Number 3, the complainants assert that the first proposed ballot was coded. This is false. Different forms were inadvertently used on a draft ballot. This was simply a clerical error that was corrected once we were made aware of it. The complained ballot was not used. All errors were corrected and all complaints were accommodated prior to the actual ballot. 4, the complainants assert the ballots contained, wait for it, spelling errors, and certain officials did not have their title of office. As objections on this issue was initially lodged prior to any decision or vote on this complaint, the objection was fully withdrawn. Thereafter, a motion was made, voted on, and approved to have each voter pin the corrections to these non-substantiated typos. All asserted errors were announced and corrected. None of the complainants objected to the ballots, nor did anyone else. Of course, our parliamentary rules require an objection to be made during the proceedings in order to raise it later. This was not done, and the complainants have no standing. Number 5, the complainants assert that AJ and the district chair warned that this would spoil the ballots. This is false. And as discussed, none of the complainants objected to the ballots, nor did anyone else. 6, the complainants assert in various forms that we were not impartial. Not only is this false, but the complainants have also hid from you some signatories are involved in, sorry, I don't have my glasses on, in an internecine conflict between let me find the room. Between the North Pulaski Republican Women's Group and the Pulaski County Republicans Group, with the former upset about the changes in control of the Pulaski County Republican Party in favor of the latter. Indeed, as you can see in plain sight, that in the complainant's letter itself, the author of the letter identified herself and signed the letter as the president of North Pulaski Republican Women's Group. And other complainants joined the letter because they have lost their grip on the county party. So rather than this being a genuine complaint, it reflects a family feud by disgruntled individuals who, like faded movie stars, are screaming over losing their spotlight. 7, the complainants assert that there were several other unnamed irregularities and seek to disqualify the Pulaski County Delegates. We don't respond to unnamed fictitious irregularities. This was a valid election using a ballot that none of the complainants nor anyone else complained about. I would like to point out that Representative Carolyn Brown signed the complaint, however, she was not present the first night of the convention. Also, Senator Jane English signed the complaint, however, she left early the first night of the convention. The first night of the convention is when the ballot voting occurred. I ask for a fair vote by the committee that does not follow politically motivated complaints of disgruntled complainants. The duly elected state convention delegates of Pulaski County must be seated. Furthermore, submitting a dishonest complaint is clearly politically motivated and should not be tolerated by our party. Our attorney will be attending the hearing. That was it. That was the response to what their complaint was. So they were just asking questions, trying to burn the time, I think, out there. You know, it's only had 15 minutes. So
That's perfect.
it is